Hi there, and thank you for joining me. Beef Bourguignon is a well-known dish not only in France and Europe but also in the UK as well, and is very popular. Today I'm going to show you how I make it. So here's a list of ingredients. They're quite straightforward and you can buy them all in your local supermarket. So what we got here is gravy, which is pesto, mushrooms, bacon, some wine, shallots, flour, and you got salt and pepper and beef, which is rump steak, and then you got your veggies, which is 2 garlic, what have I got there? 2 bay leaves, some curled parsley and thyme, and basically they just go in the pot and then you fish them out later. The garlic gets crushed. And there you have it. Okay, well, as you can see, I've already peeled the shallots and chopped up the bacon. So what we're going to do now is cut the beef into chunks. They've got to be fairly big chunks because they will shrink slightly during the cooking process. You want to remove any gristle or fat on there. You just want lean chunks of meat. So that's the meat all done. So we're now going to put it in a pot and start cooking it. So it's a heavy pot. It's like what is generally known as a Dutch oven with a lid on it. This one's cast iron, enamelled. Bring it up to temperature. You want probably about 160 degrees, and then put the oil in. You want 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Or sunflower oil. Pop your meat in. 600 grams of rump steak cut up into chunks. And start frying it. Keep stirring it around. It will initially produce a bit of water, so that will come out, and then you'll just be actually frying the meat as opposed to boiling it. You want the hob on a medium heat for this. That looks pretty much done. So now we're going to remove the meat from out of the pot. Leave the oil in there. And we're going to cook our shallots, all 12 of them. Those are fun things to peel, shallots. Now we also add 250 grams of streaky bacon that's been chopped up. Mix it all in and start stirring it. The bacon will actually render out a bit more fat, but don't worry about that because we're going to add a bit of flour later just to soak it up. So keep doing this until the bacon's nice and crispy. Right, we're going to take those out of the pot now. Basically, when you take them out of the pot, you want to separate the shallots from the bacon, because when we just before we put it in the oven, the bacon gets returned to the pot, but the shallots get returned later. So you need to separate the bacon from the shallots and just put the bacon back in. But you'll see that in a minute. So we're going to add about 1.5 tablespoons of flour. That will just soak up the fat that's still in the bottom of the pot. Just put the pot on a low heat for this. It will just look like lumps initially, but those will soon dissolve once you've actually put the stock and the wine in. Give your stock a stir and pour it in. So you want 300 millilitres of beef stock, and just pour it all straight in. And then mix it in so you can get rid of some of those lumps. I mean, the lumps will go during the cooking process anyway when it's in the oven, but the more you can break it down the better before you put it in the oven. Right, 300 ml of red wine. I use a Bordeaux for this, make it authentic. But you don't have to use a Bordeaux. Use a cheaper wine if you want. Stir it all in, and then you're going to bring it to a simmer. Right. You've still got a few flour lumps in there, but don't worry about it. Now you're going to return the beef to the pot once it's all simmering. Stir, and then you're going to return the bacon as well. Right, so that's your bacon in. A bit more stirring, mix it all in. In the meantime, the oven's preheating. You want it at 160 degrees. That's for a fan oven. Right, so you're going to put some salt and pepper in now. I put a bit more. I don't put too much salt in because the bacon is quite salty in itself. I like plenty of pepper though. So I put a good amount of pepper in. Just carry on mixing it in. Now I'll turn the heat off because it's going to go in the oven. So you add 2 garlic cloves crushed. Mix it in again. A lot of mixing. Right, now to add your sprigs of parsley, thyme and 3 bay leaves. These will get fished out at the end. Now you're going to slap the lid on and put it in the oven. As I said, the oven should be at 160 degrees centigrade for a fan oven, and it's going to go in there for an hour and a half. Okay, that was a very quick hour and a half. So I've just taken it out of the oven, and we're going to add the shallots and also the mushrooms, or return the shallots and add the mushrooms. Looks very nice already. Now if you think it's running a bit dry, the mushrooms will actually add more water to it, so you shouldn't have to add extra water. So now you're returning the shallots. Mix them in. And put in 250 grams of button mushrooms. Mix that all in as well. The very dark colour comes from the wine. Right, pop the lid back on, and we're going to pop it back in the oven for at the same temperature, 160 degrees centigrade, for another hour. So 1 more hour in the oven. Meanwhile, you can start looking at the accompaniments that you're going to do. I've got baby potatoes here which I'm just going to steam, but they don't take an hour to steam, so I'll just start boiling the water in the steamer. Right, it's all done. Get some plates out. Doesn't that look lovely? Very dark colour to it, as I said, from the wine and also the beef stock. Give it a stir. The fun part of this now, when you serve it up, is getting rid of all the vegetation that you put in earlier. The thyme and the bay leaves and the parsley. Gorgeous. I absolutely love beef bourguignon. You can never really go wrong with it. It always makes a good meal. As long as you just follow the simple guidelines. I've cooked just enough for 2 people here. Obviously, if you're feeding a bigger family, then you just have to increase the ingredients proportionately. Just digging all the vegetation out.
with potatoes?
No, leave it. Just turn them off. Please. Just make sure you get all that lovely goodness out of the pot. Does look dark, doesn't it? There's a bit more in there if you want it. There's not enough to put in the box, I don't think. Okay, I got the potatoes out. These are baby potatoes. They do actually look a bit big for baby potatoes. But no. Suddenly occurred to me watching the video that I forgot to put the asparagus on. I did make asparagus and I did put it on the plate, but it was off camera. So that is it. Makes a lovely meal. There you go. So there you have beef bourguignon. It's a great meal and it's easy to cook. The only problem is that it takes a while, a total of 2.5 hours in the oven. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit the like button, because that would be much appreciated and it helps my channel grow. And also, if you want notification of future videos that I bring out, then please hit the subscribe button. That would also be very much appreciated. Thank you very much for joining me, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye for now.